Well, g'day boys and girls. Just out on the Focus, Jam Squared, and showing you guys around the Field River and the surrounding valley. That is super steep and loose rock going down that. You daredevils can let the brakes go on that, mate. Put your videos up. So that's part of the old Worthing copper mine, the old engine house, and you've got the old chimney over there. So this time of year over here, the grass is starting to sort of die back a bit, and some of the other trail users like four-wheel drives and motorcycles tend to sort of carve the trails out a bit for us, so they're easier to follow, not quite as overgrown. Otherwise, yeah, this area is pretty much just a bit of a wasteland at the moment. I think it's in government hands now, according to some of the stuff I've been reading. So we go up here because if you ride through that bit of creek there, you can see it's quite murky, and yeah, a little bit deep in spots as well. Just a bit tricky with some of those bigger rocks with the slime on them. Gets a bit slippy. So this part of the Field River here, it's sort of fed by a bit of a spring. It's always got some water in it. You can actually see it's actually flowing back towards Happy Valley Reservoir kind of thing. Not that it ever reaches there, but overflow from Happy Valley Reservoir will come down here. So I was told by one of the rangers. So at this point here, you can take this track here, goes right up towards that house there, really steep. Not quite as used, a bit overgrown. Just going to follow the river today. Once again, a spot here, probably not advisable to try and ride through it. There's always water in there, it doesn't really dry out, so it's always pretty slimy on those rocks in there. But yeah, I don't want to get stuck in there, mate. Righto. So then we get to this point here. There's a few ways, like these ones here, they just literally go straight up. Very steep. This one goes around and then up. But if we just follow the creek or the river, a bit more of an easier scenic ride. Once you're down in here and you can't see any houses, you wouldn't even realise you're in suburbia. So in the wetter months, these tracks, they're quite clayey, so they do get quite slippery, quite muddy. This time of year, pretty dry. Although the water crossings, they can sometimes have water or not, depending on when they let a bit out from the reservoir, etc., or after a bit of rain. But yeah, the spring doesn't really sort of like feed it all the way back to there, so it's pretty much dry for most of the crossings anyway. So a bit of water to the left back in there was, but not on the crossing itself. So this point here, if you were to go up there, it ends up going to a really steep downhill section where you can take through here. So pretty much just a dry riverbed at the moment. That's a little rock face there you can come down if you want. It's quite slick, so not a lot of grip coming down there, mate. You're going to basically hit all these rocks at the bottom at speed, or skid your back wheel down all the way. So the way I came down into the valley was probably sort of like one of about 3 or 4 entry points from up that end. And once again here you can go there, down to the creek, where you can take this dry bed here. It's quite long. You keep the momentum up. Oh, it's not too bad. So here's the bit I was talking about, just back there where I said you could go up and it comes down really steep. So it comes down all that sort of stuff there, it's quite steep. Very loose. So now we've got the river to the left of us. We've got a couple of tracks that go up to the right. They go up to some fairly steep climbs. So there's that climb there. Now the last time I went up that, can't remember what tyres I was on, but I had a stack. What happened is I got to that pinch point there where there's that kind of larger rock, probably about 2/3 of the way up. Back wheel started spinning, bike started, well, actually the back wheel started spinning but gripping, and then I started to like loop out a bit. Then my shorts got caught, I got stuck. I sort of had to jump free of the bike. Bike sort of just tumbled a little bit, not too far, and then I tumbled down, and yeah, about halfway down and did a big Superman, tried to land in the trees, but yeah, stuffed up one of my ribs, bruised one of my ribs around the sternum area. So that was about 6 or 8 weeks of pain there for a while. So yeah, a little bit more choosy on my climbs these days. Now you will find sometimes on weekends that moto riders will come through here, so just sort of be wary. Don't often see them though, not along these trails. They usually hang in certain parts where they've made little jumps and whatnot. Little crusty demon pits. So this crossing here should have a bit of water in it. Oh, it's actually dry today. Wow. Right, we're going to go up here because pretty sure, yeah, there's still some mud over there. So in that point there, there's some really, yeah, sticky mud. So we'll just go up the side here a bit. Sort of unrideable because of the camber. Unless you've got some really chunky spiky tyres. Sometimes you can go past sort of down that way there, but she's pretty overgrown at the moment. There's also a spot over there you can sort of go through. There's a bit of water in that one as well. That just goes up towards the top though. I might whack it into walk mode here. Righto, back on track. I think this next crossing's got a bit of water in it. Quite shallow through the rock, so it's not too bad, you can just ride through it. No, it's dry as well. This is the easier side to go through. Still dry as today, mate. So it doesn't take long for the water to evaporate and soak in. There's another little crossing here as well. Some dried mud through here. Not too bad. Watch the grass and the big rocks just there. Alright. Just watch it when you do stop in these on these trails. This ain't too bad at the moment, but a lot of the time they are crawling with bull ants. So they'll go right up your bloody leg to your ball sack, mate, and it won't be a nice day. You can go down here, take a pinch steep climb up there. There's like a burnt out car at the top of that hill. It's actually easier than it looks I've been able to do it every time I've gone up there, so no pushing involved, providing you're on an e-bike. Right, so at this part here, bit of elevation, you can sort of see some of the old quarry ruins. There's something over there which might have been a bit of a pumping station. There's a bit of a channel that's been cut out through the rock there. No water in it at the moment, well, not that I'm aware of. Got the houses and stuff at the back here. And yeah, if we go back down here, we'll have a look at these other ruins. So these things here, mate, they're basically just old kind of, what would they be? They might have stored, you know, explosives. They might have been little smoko huts, who knows? That looks like a bit of a Fred Flintstone house to me. Every now and again you might see a homeless dude sort of set up there with a bit of a sleeping bag and a sign up saying, you know, leave this shit alone, blah, blah, blah. Never any trouble through here though, mate. I never see any sort of bad sorts or whatever. Oh, there's a big climb here if you're into it. Straight up this hill here. So that basically takes you up to the top there where you've got the dirty Sexby. Alright, so that little gravel trail runs alongside the Southern Expressway. You got all that up there. We'll just take you through here. So if you're going to find motos around the place, down in this area here is quite a popular little spot. Just watch the ball out nests, mate. They are everywhere where your feet might go. Another bit of a steep climb there with some super big rocks. If you take that one there, you'll eventually get up to a bit of a tunnel. Alright, so a bit of a climb here. Let's whack it into eMTB. Oh. Keeping the seat down over the front of it. There we go. Even on these tyres you can get up. Get a bit more of a perspective of that other climb I was telling you about. Just there. So from here it looks really steep. As you get closer it sort of levels out. It's a strange phenomenon. Now from here, if you see across there, there's a track that goes across like that. So basically at where it meets the side of the hill there is a tunnel that goes through. So there's like a bit of a peninsula of rock that comes down through there, and yeah, from around the other side you can get through this tunnel. It's a bit it's not too flowy going into it, but you can come through it. There's a beehive at the end, just be wary. Then you get that track there, but really you probably want to just come down there, straight down there, then back in and out through here, because if you go along there it gets a bit overgrown and really steep, overgrown with olive trees and stuff on the trail. So there's loads of olive trees here, mate. They're a massive pest. But I've seen dudes down here picking figs all the way from Salisbury. They come all this way just to pick figs. So this tree here, yeah, lots of rubbish here, idiots as usual. Don't know how to take their shit home with them. But a nice little chill spot on a warm day. Alright, so we go through this side here. I don't often come down through this way. I normally go up and over a bit of a hill spot, but there's loads of trails here, so let's take you along some of the easier stuff. Big tree there, and that's definitely a fig tree. There's another old ruin around here. So the Field River's now in there. Loads of fig trees. Oh, here we go. So another kind of old building there. Someone told me it was part of an old school. I'm not sure what it was. But yeah, old water tank. So there's, you know, a bit of history in here to do with old copper mines and maybe an old school or something. I don't know about that. And there's the other one through there. So to get to that one, I have to go back a bit. Just watch out here, there's a bit of an old well or base of an old tank. So yeah, I could have gone up and over and back down through this point here, but yeah, there's the building. So once again, not quite sure what it was. Covered in graffiti, some pretty cool artwork in there. Bit more of a ruin there. The water in that river at the moment, just there, is quite murky. Now this point here, cliff faces with the caves and stuff. So if you're into your rock climbing, probably a few beehives and whatnot through there. Someone told me that the SES used to come down, or maybe still do come down here and practice some of their abseiling rock climbing skills. If you go down in there, you literally just loop around and come back out. There's a couple of steep bits that go out, but you really can't get up unless you've got a motorbike. And same with this track here. If you go up there, it's a really steep sort of drop downhill. All the motos have carved that stuff out. It's really loose gravel. I don't tend to worry about that stuff. The Southern Expressway is just there. See the vehicles going along, just across the top. And then we've got the forest of bloody Scotch thistles. Don't get those things stuck in your knuckles, mate. That climb's not too bad. So there's a couple of points you can actually go down from here. This side is more rocky, a little more gnarly. You can also come along just there. So if you go up a bit higher, come back around, you can go along that track there, weaves its way around if you don't want to do this massive rock garden. Alright, so plenty of alternative routes. So for instance, we'll take this one here. Just got to watch out for things like steel pipe that's there. And there's also another way around. You can go up the top, not quite as far as that pole, but then you can come straight down and around and then just weave your way out along here. But there is a few Scotch thistles right on the track, and I've got some stuck in me bloody knuckles even with these gloves. I have seen tents here in the cooler months once before. People just camping in here, probably homeless people or something. But how's the rock faces here? Pretty crazy, pretty gnarly. So at this point here, probably best to take this right hand track. You just sort of stay in the centre. There's some pretty deep ruts created by four-wheel drives on the other side. Can get a little slippery in winter, off-camber sections. So you can continue straight on, or you can take this little climby bit, which I don't mind. So it's really nice for e-bikes. I mean, I've done it on my old analog bike, but yeah, not quite as much fun for my liking. So that's the Young Street Bridge, expressway, Young Street. Got houses and stuff just up there. Expressway there. You can see the 36B just going along on the right hand side of it. So that's where we'll be heading. Right, so at this point here, go down this part here, go underneath the Young Street Bridge. So if you go around to the left here, and around that way there, you get yourself towards O'Halloran Hill Recreation Park, mountain bike trails, Glenthorne Farm, etc. But today I'm going to be going this way. Now this is a bit of a thoroughfare here for motos, as you can see, coming here doing the burnouts on the money to burn, mate, money to burn. So yeah, just be wary. I mean, I've ridden this place heaps and I'll probably come across motos maybe, geez, I'll be lucky if 10% of the time I've been here I've seen them. I have heard that the police do crack down on them coming through around these parts, so I mean, if you're coming through here on the moto and you're fanging it, you're just flying around like you're the only one on the trail, well, you're just a bloody idiot. It's predominantly supposed to be for pedestrians and cyclists. It's a bit of a service access road, so if you do come here on the moto, mate, just take it easy, and you know, respect the fact that you're not the only one using the trail. So yeah, you can see the buildings here, and there's the other one that's back down there somewhere. I've just spotted the tunnel as well. So straight through there, if you look at that big building down below and then look up a bit, just to the left of that stobie pole, you'll see the exit of the tunnel. So you can ride through it, no worries. Yeah, just beware of the beehive. The Ghetto Valley. Alrighto, let's follow this down into the Ghetto Valley. Don't go into there, let's get around here. So you can take the high line. I took the left lower line, I took the high line last time when I came down here. So that's probably a safer option than that. It's a bit steeper, but it's shorter. Alright, so this time here as well, I've got to try and take the right hand, or the right hander when it peels off, if there is one, because the left-hander ended up going to a stupid kind of steep, loose, rocky section, worse than that. Wasn't even going to attempt it. And I had to pick my bike up over the fence, albeit low, but right, so there's back there, I think. Yeah, so just back here, there's the right-hander. So there's a little bit of fence here, but a little bit of barbed wire, just beware of. Okay. So now we're back in behind SA composters, I think they are. So yeah, you can take whatever track you want, just follow all these old moto trails. There's a big loop in here as well. But if you take this bit here, it avoids any of the real steep kind of stuff and off camber. So if you want a safer, easier ride, just go this way. So there's the quarry. And from here, you'll be able to see, so over there, there's like 1, 2, 3 sort of tracks coming down, 2 going into 1. That's often a common one, so I come in behind the footy club, behind those houses, then down there. Or there's the other one that peels off and goes sort of curved around to the left. That's how I'll get out today, but I can come down through there as well. It's not another bad spot. There's a steep rocky one coming down that way. But today I actually came down over the other side of that hill, so that as the river goes around that way. So there's lots to explore here. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I like this stuff. This stuff just looks wicked. That is sick. Same dude doing this stuff here by the looks of it. It's like branches and stuff, great sort of shade and detail. Pretty awesome. Little downhill section to go here. Really soft just here with all the gravel. Try and get out of here without a snake in the back wheel. So I don't recommend taking the right hand track there to go up. It's just too steep. This one here at least is rideable. Just let the bike do the work. I'm only putting in 175 watts, 180. Well, a bit more now, it's getting steeper. Let's get the weight over the front of the seat. Seat down. And up over here. Oh, there we go. Whew. That's the Ghetto Valley done, mate.